The story of Daniel really is about Christian persecution. Here you had a Hebrew Jew who knew that he couldn't compromise the laws of God. He could not eat from the devil's plate. He could not indulge in idol worship, whether spiritually or physically. He couldn't eat food that was offered to the gods. And he certainly, when the bell sounded and they wanted people to come out and worship King Nebuchadnezzar, he could not do it, because he says the true God of Israel is one, is to be worshipped, and no other gods. As a result, because Daniel refused to compromise, in Daniel 6 verse 16, I think, the king summoned, his army to forcefully throw Daniel into the lion's den, hoping that the lions, who they haven't fed, would be so hungry that they would have devoured this Hebrew Jew. But obviously we know that God saved him, because the lion's mouth was sealed by an angel who entered into the lion's den and calmed down these hungry beasts. However, the moral of the story is this. This teacher, I think he was in Ireland, he wanted to stand on biblical truth. He didn't want to change the laws of God and follow this pseudo-science, this new world order, this strange teachings where you define biology, define physics, define common sense. He didn't want to play games for political purposes. All he wanted to do was to worship God, his God, in spirit and in truth. Just like the Muslims are allowed to worship their God unmolested, the Hindus are allowed to worship their God unmolested. To my knowledge, no Muslims have ever gone to prison, ever got arrested for quoting the Quran, where the Quran says that, like Lot, referring to Sodom and Gomorrah, nobody targets the Muslims, nobody. It makes you wonder why. Ephesians 6 tells us why there is this constant war against the faith of Christianity, why there's a constant war. But this teacher was arrested and went to prison. Can you imagine turning this teacher into a common convict over a word pronoun? There are criminals out there who get community services for selling drugs, violent crimes, but purely because he wants to worship his God and not use a pronoun. He was thrown into prison. It was seen as a crime worthy of making this teacher become now a convicted villain. I remember saying to this Christian guy, I said, imagine someone had a knife and put it to your throat. I said, deny Jesus Christ. In fact, this guy was a preacher. He was a pastor. And I said to him, would you deny Jesus? I said, imagine the cold blade across your throat. Would you deny Jesus? And this pastor turned round and said to me, wow, I don't know. In these kind of situations, you don't know when the persecution is up, when the spiritual oppression really kicks off your door. will you stand by Jesus Christ? Even though the wolves are at the door, howling for you to deny the Son of Man, how many would be faithful even unto death? How many would be prepared to go to prison like this teacher did? It takes guts. It really takes conviction that you're going to give up your house, your mortgage, your car, your freedom, and say, lock me up, but I will not forsake my faith. I will not abandon Jesus Christ. It's a different ball game when persecution comes at your door. The likes of Joel Austin, T.D. Jakes, they will never go through persecution because they are Illuminati pastors. You know, they paid to not preach the gospel. They will never go through persecution. I mean, Joel Austin and T.D. Jakes, they're pro-gay. So they can open their doors to the trans, no problem. So why they're targeting the church, I don't know. There are many false pastors out there who will entertain these trans. Entertain them, no problem. They don't need to touch the genuine anointed ones who really want to worship Yahweh. But they do. In fact, there's another video I want to make. But I'm just, give me 2 seconds, my voice to be dry. But the story of Daniel tells us the same thing that happened to Daniel is now happening today. History repeats itself. A lot of Christians are persecuted all over the world. Soon, there won't be any jobs for Christians. Because what they do, they'll set you up. They'll set you up. They will put somebody there who wants to be called a they. And you better either play ball game, deny Christ, or, you know something, you get thrown in prison. You get persecuted for not following King Nebuchadnezzar's laws. They want you to bow spiritually. They want you to submit. You know, when I mean submit, your whole being, your whole values, they want you to bow down to Moloch, to Baal, and they won't leave you alone until you surrender to Baal, until you surrender to the teachings of Satanism. They won't surrender. This is what it's about. You've got to compromise. And if you don't compromise, you will lose your freedom. You have to ask yourself the question, are you ready to carry your cross? Because the cross will get heavy and heavy as the journey goes on. As time moves on, that cross is going to get heavy. They will come after you. If they can target comedians like Dave Chappelle, just for telling the truth, imagine what they'll do to you. Because the Bible says that the beast was given power to blaspheme and speak against the Most High. The beast was given power. And we can see today how the beast is using his power, how the beast are using certain groups to finally make war against the saints. And they don't care with your Seventh Adventist, they don't care with your prophecy, they don't care with your New Testament, they don't care with your Catholic. If you standing on the words of Jesus Christ, if you accept Jesus Christ into your life, They're coming for you. They don't care what denomination you belong to. All they want to know is, do you believe in the Bible? Are you going to stand by it? And if you say yes, you can end up losing your freedom. Jesus says, remember, they hated me first. Hated me first. If they hate me, they will hate you. And this is what the fight is over, because they hate Jesus Christ. Hope you enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to subscribe. God bless you.